Hi, this is Caleb with A Safe Landing Counseling Services. I am so glad you've been on this journey with us. If you haven't, just to catch you up to speed, we're going through the body and the three brains that function neurologically to help us out with thought process. Well, we've been on the gut brain, and the last video was in reference to how the gut functions and what it offers. Well, we're going to dive into this in more of a dynamic way in regards to spirituality and also a deeper thought process. So we said that when you have a feeling in your gut, that is actually thought that's occurring in those neural pathways. We've used that phrase throughout our lives. I have a gut feeling about this, right? And that tells us that something is actually going on there. We can feel it. You see kids, especially, even some adults, who are struggling with making decisions. When they don't trust their gut instinct, they usually have upset stomachs of some sort. We talked about maybe having issues with constipation, nausea, diarrhea, or even heartburn, and some of those things being anxiety attacks within the enteric nervous system or the gut brain. Well, let's go a little further with this. If the gut is something of an intuition, something that we say, I have a gut feeling about this, but we don't really have cognition why or clear thoughts that we can assimilate in verbal processes. Well, we do have something that's going on here that we can say there's an intuition and that maybe even it's a discernment. So in a Christian perspective, we talk about discernment as a gift from God. And typically when people are struggling with maybe I've heard of stomach migraines before as well. When we're struggling with this kind of tendency, what that tells us is that maybe there's this intuition that we're not paying attention to, a gifting that's very real in life. And some people even live by this intuition. They make great decisions by this. They make business decisions. They make relational decisions by this intuition of their gut feeling. And it's usually right for them. So what is actually going on here? Well, in my perspective, God has given people gifts of discernment or even wisdom. And typically it comes through that gut interaction. When that gut lines up with somebody's identity, the thought process that happens in the heart neurosystems, when we line up within that identity, the intuition is in a good flow, a good function of what God intended the body to be. When we don't line up with it, it becomes misconstrued, it becomes in conflict. So there's something that's going on there that's not very helpful to the individual. And that's where we have problems with physiological issues that are really caused by thought process and mental or emotional stagnation. So what we want to do is encourage people to say, what am I feeling in my body? I feel something in my gut. What is this about? Now, this is where we can lead into a prayer place. Jesus, I'm experiencing something in my gut. I tend to think that this is anxiety. I tend to think that this is some other emotion, but I'm going to ask you first, why is this going off? What about the situation that I'm in or the situation I've been in previously? What about these situations would make my gut or my intuition say, hey, listen up, pay attention. That's really what's going on there. So if you're aware of this, then you'd have the opportunity to ask God, and then you would have to listen. What would he tell you? Would your body, the sensation in your body, would it change? Would you feel different as soon as you asked him? Would something come to mind and then you'd be aware of something because you asked God, and then the settling of your stomach comes in? Or would it increase until you understood that there was something there that he was trying to show you? If you take these steps, oftentimes what will happen is those issues, especially in the gut, or if you don't have issues, you're going to find that there's more fluidity in your life, that there's an ability, this intuition that you're tapping into, that it's a connective piece of the neural pathways in your gut. You can do this by slowing down, feeling your body, experiencing what's going on inside of you, asking God to relay and interpret what you're experiencing, because that's what he intended for in the first place, is that you wouldn't live life alone, but that you would be in the vine, and the branch would constantly be going back to the vine to get what it needs. He is the vine and you are the branch. All right. So if that metaphor makes sense to you, you can't get anything on your own for long term. You need to go back to the source. God, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this? What is this about? What do you want to do with it? Those simple questions right there can get you into a new space and have a healthier body, a healthier thought process, a healthier emotionality. I hope this information is helpful, and I bless you that you would experience more of God's love, God's insight over your life, to know what's going on in your body, that way you can feel, that way you can think, and that way you can emote in healthy ways. God bless you.